This video is a satirical video just for entertainment purposes solely. Now, many historians would say that a crazy deranged lunatic could not have won the Vietnam War. Well, I think differently. Could Crazy Dave have won the Vietnam War in place of the United States military using only his plans? So today, we're going to take a deep dive into this very, very highly disputed claim amongst most historians. So, let's get to it. Okay, so since the US military had roughly, guessing here, 2.7 million troops throughout the whole duration of the entire Vietnam War, which lasted like, I don't know, a fucking decade, I think it's fair to give Crazy Dave 10 million plans to work with. Now, you might think that's crazy, but there are trillions, if not quadrillions of plants in the world, let alone Vietnam. So, I think it's pretty fair to give Crazy Dave only 10 million plants to work with. 2 million of each pea shooter, torchwood, sunflower, cactus, chomper. Oh yeah, I probably forgot to mention this, but Crazy Dave and the plants actually have no allies. Unsurprisingly, a fucking homeless guy who was unable to communicate in fucking English or any actual understandable language for that matter was not admitted into the UN. It don't even matter though. Crazy Dave is like 2016 LeBron James. He don't need no help. So going into this, I kind of forgot to add, but just gonna iron out some small little details, none to worry about. First thing I thought though, do plants sleep? I don't think they do. I don't think they rest. That's a better way to put it, but I'm gonna say no. I wonder how much Crazy Dave sleeps. Not gonna lie to you, I think he's an alcoholic. He just gives off like an I beat my shit type of vibe, you know what I mean? I mean, there's something wrong, being drunk all the time. I mean, Ulysses S. Grant did that too, and he killed like, over 50% of his soldiers, but it's fine. Given that the average RV is like 3 feet tall and like you could probably stack like, I don't know, 3 pea shooters up and like, to make that RV, I think it's safe to say a pea shooter is like 3 feet tall. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that pea shooter and sunflower are 3 feet tall, chomper's 4 feet, and cactus is 5 feet. March 8th, U.S. troops first landed in Da Nang, South Vietnam, marking the entry of the first American ground combat forces into the Vietnam War. The 9th Marine Expeditionary Brigade, comprising of 3,500 Marines, arrived by both amphibious landing on the Red Beach and by air at Da Nang Airfield. And them boys in blue was tasked with protecting and serving the base and allowing the South Vietnam forces to engage the Viet Cong. I don't know why I'm doing an accent. Now, in our new branch of reality, instead of the US troops landing at Da Nang, it's actually Crazy Dave and his platoon of plants landing at Da Nang. And now they will be the ones tasked with the serious misfortune of stepping foot in what honestly could be generally considered assistance by the US government. Yeah. I think, and you know what, I feel like being drafted to Vietnam, that's like a fucking death sentence, dude.
I bet they regret that. You're so ugly you could be a modern art masterpiece. What's your name, fat body? Lawrence what, of Arabia? That name sounds like royalty. Are you royalty? Do you suck dicks? Bullshit, I bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. I don't like the name Lawrence, only sailors are called Lawrence. From now on, you're Gomer Pyle. Do you think I'm cute, Private Pyle? Do you think I'm funny? Then wipe that disgusting grin off your face. Well, any fucking time, sweetheart. Private Pyle, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Exactly 3 fucking seconds to wipe that stupid-looking grin off your face, or I will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you. 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, get on your knees, scumbag!
I would imagine that pea shooter
will be used as infantry. Not gonna lie, right now he's just kind of cannon fodder. The sheer abundance of them just makes them like the pawns. Anyways, imagine how scary it would be. You're a Vietnamese soldier and some 3-foot tall giant plant is coming at you while on hyper and spamming bean bombs at you. Imagine being in that situation. What would you do? You can't do anything. You're dead.
That's so scary, bro.
Sunflower will obviously be our medic. She has a magical heal beam. She can heal people to perfect health within a matter of seconds, like crack.
Give me one more gram. Tell me that go.
Now that I think about it, actually, she alone would probably win the war, but we have like another 6 minutes of runtime, so...
We are Charlie.
This guy, he knows how to make a good screwdriver, and he snipes and stuff. And, he has the garlic drone, which would basically serve as the same purpose as like the drone strikes during the Obama administration, But more importantly, the screwdrivers. That's what we need them for. Let's take a look at this picture real quick. What do you notice about this picture? Boom, chomper. Did I make the chomper somewhat transparent? No, go f yourself. Okay, yes I did. Truth be told, I really do hate this guy a lot, but I feel like, you know, some people would complain if he wasn't here, so there you go. Anyway though, Chomper got the spike weed traps, which is like, you know, pretty useful in a jungle setting. You can also burrow underground, like a certain... Okay, now Torchwood is the one character who actually wasn't on the original roster of Gun for One, so you're probably thinking like, you know, why did I bring him? Well, the thing is, when I originally thought about what would separate the United States military and Crazy Dave, I thought, you know, what would Crazy Dave do that the US government didn't? Then I had, you know, the most amazing worst idea of all time. Why don't we just torch the fucking place? Bring in like 1 million Torchwoods and just have them light that bitch up. If the Vietnamese were so adamant on hiding in the fucking jungle, burn the damn thing down. But then this is where I got into like a little problem. I got to thinking, like I'm always doing, you know what I mean? And I realized that, you know, doing that shit end up violating dozens of human rights and would probably solidify Crazy Dave as like, you know, a fucking war criminal. So, you know, the main issue with, you know, just burning the jungle down is you would A, eliminate the North Vietnam forces and, well, B, eliminate all Vietnamese people, which is, it's kind of not good. Regardless, I brought him because I do think it would be pretty kick-ass to have a bunch of fucking 7-foot walking trees in the fucking army. That'd be cool as shit, bro. Now, honestly, the Vietnamese were fucking crazy, okay? They hid in trees, bro. Actually, that. They was the tree. Before we move any further, I think we should go back to where it all began. So before this all happened, Vietnam was under French control as part of the French Indonesia since the 1880s. Later in 1941, you know, cool year, probably, Ho Chi Minh, you know, the very beloved Vietnamese person that everyone in Vietnam loves. I love him too, actually. I love Vietnam. Anyway, Ho Chi Minh formed the Viet Minh to fight France for independence on September 2nd, 1945. Another great year. Probably not. But Ho Chi Minh declared an independent democratic republic of Vietnam. That is a fucking mouthful. But who was Ho Chi Minh? Ho Chi Minh was the leader of North Vietnam, and our glorious leader Ho Chi Minh was born on 19th of May 1890. He later became a Vietnamese Marxist-Leninist revolutionary and politician who served as the founder and first president of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam from 1945 to 1969. He died in 69. Very sad day. Year. Same thing. The Vietnamese also practiced a dandy little thing called guerrilla warfare. Not to be confused with the greatest game of all time, garden warfare. They actually did something that 99% of pea shooter players actually do. They did hit and run attacks. They run in, they attack really quick, and they just drop off and hide like pussies. The Vietnamese also used booby traps and countless landmines, many of which are, you know, probably still fucking active. I've seen like fucking 50 movies of people standing on landmines and just dying. Okay, now I'm obviously not going to show you the results of these traps as, well, you know.
Hello, I like money.
Another interesting little thing is that the Vietnamese were diggers.
Whoa, 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 hey.
They built tunnels throughout the entire fucking country. They were kind of like that one group of people I don't like. Now, I wouldn't say this was a tactic, but maybe just more that's something the US Army had to deal with. Unsurprisingly, the Vietnamese, the locals, they didn't like the US Army. You know, I wonder why, you know? A bunch of foreign people come into your country, start blowing shit up, you know? I wonder why they don't like you, you know? I just can't put my, can't put my finger on it, you know? The Vietnamese also took some, they did some psychological warfare where they tortured and, I can go further into this, but like, maybe another video. I don't feel like, getting metaphorically both my kneecaps popped by YouTube. Now, to be fair with you, if this were to happen, I don't think it's in question that Crazy Dave would win this, okay? I'm gonna explain to you this very thoroughly. I'm gonna use Mike Tyson. Now, do you think you could beat Mike Tyson in a fight? If you said yes, you're a liar. Okay, now, new scenario. What if there was 5 of you? Yeah, you'd still probably lose, but what if there was 50 of you versus Mike Tyson? The point I'm making here is that I think the sheer amount of, numbers that Crazy Dave has would easily overwhelm the Vietnamese forces, regardless of the fucking home field advantage they have, bro. To me, this is an easy dub for Crazy Dave, in my opinion, guys. It's 2 a.m. Like and subscribe, please. Bye!